invasion is about to happen, but in this town they don't seem to care. They'll cope with the annual show being held on the same week as a major lifestyle festival that'll attract thousands to a camp just out of town. The same people who brought you love and peace, health foods, communes, ban the bomb and pot are back in 10 years since that Aquarius Festival that started it all. The town for such a celebration just has to be Nimbin, a fabled born-again dairy town in northern New South Wales that's been a lasting focus for those who hope to get away from it all and start a new way to paradise. Every day for a week, the hills around Nimbin awake each morning to a ritual celebration of a lifestyle that survived against the odds. After the last festival, many stayed, formed communes, raised their children. And although the original ideals of flower power may have wilted with time, a whole new wave of Nimbin pilgrims are still keen to discover an alternative to the consumptive society, a way of surviving with little. Alternate is the term they prefer to hippie, a recognition of an alternative society with different values, different rules. So along with the more familiar stalls, there's the latest in alternative hardware, a solar panel for electricity, a homemade wind generator to charge the batteries, and in an outdoor world where an exercise bike would be an obscenity, pedal power is put to a more pragmatic use. Any mixing, food processing or grinding is done by pedal, all with the hands left free. Healing arts, they call it. From massage to meditation and beyond, they share ways they believe can heal both the body and the spirit. Given an harmonious environment to grow in, a dormant healing energy within each one of us can be revealed. It's a belief with appeal in a culture that exchanges ideas more than money. Straddling both alternative and traditional medicine is Harry Freeman, a psychiatrist who came to the first festival, set up a commune and stayed. He's had a decade to understand the consequences.
Mainstream Australians have heard of Nimbin, that's really something. They've heard of this funny little town up here on the north coast that used to be just a dairy town. For most people it would be nirvana, you know, something special's happening there. Wouldn't it be lovely if I could just go and live at Nimbin? Is something that one still hears one's friends say, you know, when I visit my family in the city. Some of them say, well, eventually I might go to Nimbin. I think a lot of people have that feeling that it's a place where they might go, where they might find it.
Is there any sense that this way of living here works against mainstream Australia?
It's really funny that you say that. I asked one of the most wonderful ladies who's lived on Tuntable for years and is a really helpful soul just that question last night, and she says, We stand against wowserism. We're the polar opposites of those people who want to just stop things for the sake of stopping them. But I don't think in any sense that works against mainstream Australia. We're a real balancer of a lot of rather negative forces. We have a terribly important place, aren't we?
Overlooking the site of today's festival is the hilly retreat of the Tuntable Falls Cooperative, perhaps the most successful of the communes that mushroomed in the wake of the Aquarius Festival of '73. Each of the 300 people sharing the 1,000 hectares at Tuntable brought with them to Nimbin a different dream, a personal reason.
When I came up here I was a bit of a mess in some ways. I was certainly very confused, and I don't think I would have come to a very productive, wholesome, positive end being a lounge wizard living in the suburbs of Melbourne, for instance, whereas up here I've gradually been able to piece a few pieces together, and I feel I'm doing all right, you know. And I think there's probably a lot of other people who would have a similar story to tell.
Doug McPherson's story begins with the Aquarius Festival of '73. He just left school, brought his disillusionment to Nimbin, and with $200 bought a share in the Tuntable Cooperative. Now, 10 years on, he lives alone with the cicadas and fruit trees in this solar-powered house that he built himself, if you could really call it living alone, to share 1,000 hectares with 100 other families, each with their own house and vegetable patch tucked away in the forest. Doug is now an old-time resident, as well a musician, just one of the many locals who'll perform at the festival. But above all, he's a survivor.
I think it's very important to live in a peaceful, happy, natural environment. You've got fresh air to breathe, it's relaxed, you've got good food to eat, you've got something to sink your teeth into, you can work as hard as you want to. Like a lot of times around the place, you know, you get into a ritual where you up at dawn and work until it gets hot, and taking it easy for a while, and working pretty hard up till dusk, and that's pretty fine. Other times you've got the freedom to take a day off and work over a piece of music, polish up a Bach piece or something.
Doug and the other old-time residents have the luxury of seeing their achievements, eat the fruits of their trees that they knew as seedlings, express themselves in their houses, music, gardens. They've been allowed the time for trial and error.
I am on the dole at the moment. At various times I have worked. I've worked as a musician. I've worked doing casual labouring.
What is the importance of social security payments to supporting this way of life?
Well, initially, years ago, we couldn't get the dole. When I first came up here, we couldn't get the dole. We'd get work tested off the dole in fairly obscure ways, like getting offered jobs in the mines at Mount Isa, not for real, which people weren't real keen on taking, and so you'd get work tested off the dole. And the people who were here then still stayed here. I mean, we were still here. We were very, very poor, very poor. Now the dole, a lot of people, I would say, would see it like a rural subsidy.
What do you mean by that?
Well, that it helps people to establish themselves. Like I think people in power, the bureaucracy, the politicians can see that there are a lot of disillusioned people. There aren't enough jobs for everyone. There are a lot of people who are disillusioned with society. And both for those people and for society itself, it's good for them to have a way where they can check out other ways of doing things, other ways of living, and I think that's even a good safety valve for society.
It needs a safety valve?
I think so. I think it well might.
That special reputation that Nimbin has spread as far as Europe. 3 years ago, Frenchman Michel Fenton-Smith and his Australian wife Judy decided that this Tuntable cooperative was the haven to raise their child. Their garden is no hobby. It's the only source for most of their food to make a different sort of evening meal.
There'll be say a couple of varieties of dandelion. I've got some Russian dandelion, some small variety of unimproved dandelion, and bigger dandelion. That's an improved variety. And well, we've got the chicory, that's for the green, right? And we eat green every day, really. And we've got lots of variety of chicory from Italy and from France, but from other places too.
We've researched into edible leaves, and there are a lot of trees that you can take the shoots from, particularly in spring, and steam them, and in autumn sweet potato shoots.
That's every day. The sweet potato, they're really rich in calcium, and we eat them in season every day, really. Sweet potato shoots.
Not what you'd call a traditional diet.
No, you've got to build up a little taste for it.
Once the taste is acquired, foraging for leaves and berries can supply most of the food. Social security benefits buys the rice, wine, and things that they can't grow, make or swap with neighbours in the extended family structure that's such an important part of the co-op.
What are you doing today? You going to help collect my raspberries? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we have to collect heaps today because on Friday we're doing that cooking thing. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot all about that.
Angela and Sitar have been friends all their lives. Born on this commune, they are the future that their parents sought to create.
Neither do I, because I saw a flock of birds the other day.
There's not a tree, track, berry or fruit tree that these kids haven't known and explored.
I wonder why the raspberries are.
With the school now established on the Tuntable cooperative itself, there's no need to travel, so more time after school for the ways of children.
Well, they were sloshing around in it.
All their lives they've shared a freedom here. They've visited cities, been told about them, but for 10 years their world has been here.
Sitter, if someone